you're looking for manipulation in the wrong place. If someone wanted to manipulate you, where do you think they'd begin? Almost everyone gives the same answer: lies, pressure, threats, which is exactly why they never see it happening. Think about the last conversation that seemed completely harmless. Nothing unusual, nothing confrontational, just a conversation. Can you remember the exact moment your opinion changed? Or do you only remember the decision you eventually made? Most people remember the outcome. Almost nobody remembers the moment it happened. And that's your first clue. Let me ask you something. If someone really wanted to manipulate you, where do you think they'd start? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm curious how many people actually get this right. If you're enjoying this series so far, follow Hidden Signals now, because we're only just getting started. The next part changes everything. Here's where almost everyone gets caught. They think manipulation begins when somebody starts trying to change their mind. But what if that's already too late? What if the real work happened before anyone disagreed with you? Before anyone asked anything of you? Before you even realized the conversation mattered? Long before you're saying yes? Long before you're defending the idea? Long before you've even realized someone else quietly chose the direction of the conversation? If that's true, how many times has it already happened to you? Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like you'd made up your own mind, only to realize later you ended up doing exactly what the other person wanted? Most people don't recognize that feeling until it's happened more than once. Because the people with the most influence rarely look influential. They're not the loudest. They're not the most persuasive. They're usually the calmest person in the room, listening, watching, waiting. The most dangerous conversations are often the ones that never feel like a negotiation. Imagine someone genuinely wanted to change your mind. Would they begin by arguing? Would they immediately tell you that you're wrong? Or would they first make sure you trusted them? Would they push back? Or simply help you lower your guard? Most people never stop to ask those questions because they're still watching for lies, pressure, threats. Meanwhile, the real conversation has already started. Here's the part most people never realize. By the time somebody is trying to change your mind, they're already late. The real work happened much earlier. Before you questioned anything, before you defended anything, before you even realized a decision was being made. That's why the best manipulators rarely feel like manipulators. They don't begin by changing your mind. They begin by creating the conditions where your mind changes itself. And that's why it feels so convincing, because it never feels like somebody else's idea. It feels like yours. In part 2, I'll show you one of the oldest techniques ever used to quietly lower someone's defenses without them ever noticing. Follow Hidden Signals so you don't miss it, because in the end, it was never about forcing you. It was about making sure you never realized you were being led. That's why the easiest person to control is the one who thinks it was their idea in the first place. Power isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the person nobody notices.